There are three issues regarding exams I want to talk about. I know you are absolutely in the high amount of stress, but in this time, there are 3 points that you should keep in mind absolute clarity on. The first one, MCQ paper. When should I write MCQ paper? Like, should I start with MCQs and then go to descriptive, or first should I give descriptive and then go with MCQ? This is one issue. Within this MCQs itself, what I am noticing in majority students, a very big blender, what they're doing is, they want to finish MCQs within 30 minutes. Alright guys, how can you finish MCQs within 30 minutes? Okay, fine. If at all you're super fast in reading and then analyzing and then if you're able to figure out the answer, well and good. Don't put a target of 30 minutes. That's very dangerous. Keeping a target for MCQs only 30 minutes is a dangerous approach where you are unnecessarily hurrying your thought process. You know what I strongly feel? For MCQs, you must give at least 1 hour time. 1 hour. Not at least, I can say 1 hour. Exactly 1 hour time is required. Very simple. 30 marks here. For each mark, you have 1.8 minute. So which means 54 minutes you can allocate for MCQs. No problem at all. See, whenever I make a video like this, I always keep in mind those students who want to qualify in the exam with exemption. Whether they are getting all India first rank or second rank, I am not focusing on them. I am not worried about whether you're competing for first rank, second rank. No. I am focused about those students who want to qualify with exemptions. Maybe I can say between 20 to 50 ranks. Between 20 to 50. So to all of them, what I suggest is MCQs, you keep a target of 54 minutes. If you unnecessarily restrict, no, within 30 minutes I should solve MCQ, without your worry, you'll get lot of tension. It will be a lot of stress on your mind. Pressure will be too much, where you will ignore certain points and pick up the wrong answer. You have technically, logically, 54 minutes time you can allocate for MCQs because it's a 30 marks paper. Calmly, aram se, for 1 hour, happily you read the MCQ, thoroughly analyze it, figure out the right answer, put accurate answer. As much as possible, score 30 out of 13 MCQ. If you are able to score 30 out of 13 MCQ, you are more than half successful. More than half. In the rest of the descriptive paper, if you are able to score 30 plus, that's it. There is your exemption. But what is happening with many students? They are trying to finish MCQs within half an hour and ending up doing lots of mistakes and scoring 12 marks, 14 marks only in MCQs, where they are supposed to score 24, 26, 28 or 30 out of 30. They know the answer and still they are doing mistakes. It's only because they are restricting themselves to finish MCQs within 30 minutes, which is dangerous. This is first thing. Within MCQs, I have one more point. Sir, should I attempt them at first? Like at 2 o'clock, should I first solve MCQs? Or should I keep them at last? Simple approach, I'll tell you. For theory papers, no. You can always start your paper with MCQs. Theory papers like law, audit, strategic management. First, you can start with MCQ, no problem at all. Because even in the descriptive paper, most of the questions are straight. Even though some case study, like some discussion would have been their practicality, but the end of the question, it's a straight question only. So better solve MCQs at first in case of theory papers. Whereas in practical papers like taxation, income tax, GST, direct tax, or financial reporting, AFM, accounts and costing in CA Intro, in case of practical papers, it is your choice. Ultimately your choice. Why? Because based on my personal experience, because I teach income tax at CA Inter level, right? MCQs, when I see, they are almost like a total income problems only. Like you need to solve the entire total income. Like it's just a case study question only. It's a case study question. 3 questions will be there. One case study they'll give, 3 questions will be there, 6 marks, that case study. But that 6 marks, if I have to figure out the answer, I have to solve the problem fully in a rough notes. So typically speaking, it is like a descriptive only. So whether you're solving it at first or solving it at last doesn't make any difference. The time it takes is same. What I tell you, best thing what I figured out is, for practical papers, 2 to 5 year exam, right? 4 to 5 fix it for MCQ. 4 to 5 fix it for MCQ. Whereas theory papers, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. For theory papers, you can restrict your time within 40 minutes. Maybe. For theory paper, you need not give 1 hour full time also. You can try to solve it within 40-45 minutes. You don't have to allocate 1 hour. But for practical papers, allocate 1 hour for MCQ. Suppose if at all your CA inter income tax, half an hour for MCQs, half an hour for GST, total 1 hour for 30 marks MCQ. Okay, so this is the minimum time that you should allocate for MCQ. Don't hurry up yourself. Don't restrict yourself. Don't keep that's very unrealistic time. Within 30 minutes, I should finish 30 marks MCQs. No. You have scientifically, technically, logically 1 hour time. So take that 1 hour and present accurate answer in MCQ. Try to score 30 on 30 in MCQ. That's it. This is the total first issue which I want to talk about. Then the second issue. How should I utilize this 15 minutes reading time? This is more, this 15 minutes reading time, especially I'm talking about practical papers. That too, MCQs you should solve at last. 4 to 5. Evening 4 to 5, like 2 to 5 exam, right? 4 to 5 you should allocate for MCQ. Because in this 15 minutes reading time, MCQ paper you can't read. Am I right? Only descriptive paper will be given for you to read. So what you do, within this 15 minutes reading time, for example, you are solving accounts paper or FR or AFM or DT or IDT, costing, some practical paper, financial management, something you're solving. Within this 15 minutes, take one question. For example, CA into income tax, first question is always total income question, 15 marks question, 12 to 15 marks question. Take that question. Don't even see the remaining question paper. Don't even see the remaining question paper. For example, FR, from a particular chapter, pakka 12 to 15 marks question will come. Some chapters like that. Figure out where that question is. Question number 3 or 4 or 5. Figure out that. First identify that. You identified. Solve within this 15 minutes, starting to the end. Scratch to completion. Problem entirely solve it in your mind. Put some pencil marks on the question paper if possible, okay? Invigilators will say not to write, okay? If possible, you take a chance. If at all they come and say, erase it, okay? No problem. They won't tell you anything, okay? They won't debar you and all, okay? Try to keep some marks on the question paper with pencil. So, within this 15 minutes, solid 15 marks question, I'm telling you, 15 marks question, solid 15 marks question, right from the first step till the last step with all the numbers, you solve it. What happens generally in 15 minutes reading time with many students, what I notice, they read entire 70 marks paper. Descriptive, they'll read, they just FR or accounts. They read entire all the 5 questions or 6 questions, sub questions, everything. And they will think, question number 4, I know very well. I will start with question number 4, yeah. Some 10 marks question they'll pick. And they think they know very, very, very well that. And they start writing that question and 20 minutes gone, still the answer is not coming. And what happened, here? Some 2 or 3 adjustments were there which he has never seen. Some new adjustments which he is unable to understand how to solve. Then half an hour is already gone. 2:30 time, bell rang. What the student mindset will be, here? Arey, I picked up the wrong question at the first place. I didn't study the full question. I didn't read the full question. I picked the wrong question. I should have been careful when I'm reading. In order to avoid this kind of regret, what is my suggestion is, within this 15 minutes, take only one question, solve from the beginning to the last, entire steps, entire numbers, everything. The moment 2 o'clock starts, bell ranks, whatever the answer there in your mind, copy onto the paper. And what happens here? Within 15-20 minutes, by 2:20 p.m., you are completing 15 marks of the answer. Why? Sir, within 20 minutes, you completed 15 marks question. Why? Because already analyzing the question, developing the answer, you already completed in the complementary 15 minutes reading time. In the 15 minutes reading time, you read the question, analyzed the question, solved all the steps. You know what to do, everything in the mind. You just have to copy onto the paper. For that 15-20 minutes only it takes. By 2:20, 15 marks question answer is over. Now imagine the kind of confidence you will have. First question, if you are solving that to a 15 marks, 12 marks, 15 marks, 16 marks, 10 plus marks question, if you are solving within first 15-20 minutes with 100% accuracy, imagine the kind of confidence you will have in the rest 2.5 hours time. Mark my word, you ask your friend, or you might have faced this scenario in the earlier attempt. First 15 minutes, you read the entire question paper, reading time. and later you picked up question, and when you started answering, you understood that you don't know that question fully. How many of you end up with this kind of situation? Comment here. So 15 minutes reading time must be utilized fully, properly. Don't chumma read entire 70 marks paper and then randomly select one question. So here one doubt some students ask me, sir, what if, suppose, no, as you said, first one question I'll take, sir, I will read 15 minutes that question only. What if I don't know any one or two adjustments in that question? What if that is the case? It's okay. You started reading, within 5 minutes you will figure out, no? Then okay, you understood. Suppose within the question, 15 marks question which you picked, you understood that you don't know. Then leave that. Take another question which you think definitely will come in exam. In the sense, for example, CA and accounts, on amalgamation, pakka one question will be there. Cash flow statement, pakka one question will be there. Like that, some chapters are there. Pakka there will be a question from that chapter. Like that, some chapters will be there. Na? Try to identify where that question is. Take up that question. Now develop the answer. Within this 15 minutes, one solid question, 15 marks related questions, 15 or 16 marks worth of questions, entire answer has to be developed. Once the bell ranks at 2 o'clock, start copying whatever is there in your mind onto the answer sheet. So I want the 15 minutes solid time to be used properly. There should be a meaning to it. That's why for practical papers, MCQs I recommend to attempt at last, because you can't open the MCQ booklet until 2 o'clock. So within the 15 minutes, what you can open, descriptive questions related booklet you can open and then solve the question. So better solve. 15 minutes means you must solve 15 marks worth of question. Pakka you must solve. So that's second issue. So I spoke on first issue, I spoke on second issue. The third issue, order of attempting the questions. Like what is the order in which I should attempt the question? Like often many students, of course, like for example, in FR or accounts, if you take, there is a question called 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. Question number 1 has 4 parts. Now, sir, I start, presentation also I'll tell you. Always start your answer. For example, 1A, start in the fresh page on the top. Mention, and in the left margin also, here also, in the sense here also you should keep the question. 1A, in the left margin on the top, at both the places mention question number clearly. Okay, now you wrote the entire answer. Suppose 1B you don't know, or you know it well, but you don't know, you're not super perfect in that, but you want to attempt that. Immediately in the next page, what students will do, in the next page, they will give blank and they go to the next question. No need to. You can happily write 1A, then I will write 2B, then I will write 3A, then again I will write 1D. Yeah, first page, 1A is started. Second page, I started with question number 2B. Third page, I started with question number 3A. Fourth page, I can again come back to 1C. No problem at all. No problem. Like students often confuse that 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D. They have to be continuous. If at all question number 1 is started, all subparts of the question has to be continuous. Need not be. As long as your question number is clearly understandable, you can scatter the parts at multiple places. Sir, then why there is an instruction in the answer booklet? All parts of the question must be at same place. All parts of a question means question number 1A itself is one question. Question number 1D itself is a question. Yes or no? 1A answer, no. Some students what they do, 1A answer they'll write. At the end of the exam, once they finish the exam, still time is there. They figure out one working note is missing in 1A. What they will do, in 1A question which they wrote, please refer page number 40. In the 40th page, continuation to 1A they'll write. That is not permitted. Hope you understood the intention behind that. Clear? So, you can attempt in any order. I personally wrote in the same order. Many of my friends wrote in the same order. Many of my juniors wrote in the same order. And many of our students in the past attempt, that before attempt also, they wrote in different, whatever the order they want to. The only requirement is question number must be clear. And most important, every time you're starting a question, 1A over. Suppose in the second page, half page is empty. Don't start to be there. Leave that page, it's okay. Go to the next page. Always start question. Very simple. Your question number must be on the top of the page. Simple. Your question number should come on the top of the page. On the top of the page, question number must be there. Sir, half page is there, sir. Sir, 80% page. For example, no, sir, this is the page. Okay. Up to this only one answer came, sir. This entire page is left, sir. What should I do? It's okay. Leave it, man. You start on the fresh page. 3B. 3B. Start. That's it. I hope I have given you enough clarity on what to do. Please, once again, those who skipped the video and came directly here, please watch in between. I spoke about MCQ discussion, especially whether to start at first or to start at next, where I integrated that point with 15 minutes reading time, how to cleverly use that so that by 2:30 p.m. you have finished 15 to 20 marks of the paper with a solid, perfect, 100% accurate answer. Okay, and all the very best, do well. And first exam is best exam, I'm telling you. Generally the first paper that you're going to write, that is one of the most important paper, because that decides the pulse of the rest of the exam. Don't worry, anyhow I'll come up with one more video regarding first exam impact. I'll get a feedback from students, right, whether the first exam is very tough or what. Accordingly I'll make a video on that. Don't worry, go ahead, all the very best. Okay.